So then we'll leave that there. That continues to loop. And then when I turn, and then I hit that. Okay. So let me do this.
We're live.
To all who come to this happy place,
burn it down!
Disneyland is your land.
Burn it down!
What's up, guys? Welcome to another episode of the Mad Tea Party, brought to you by Walt's Apartment Productions. We are here hanging out at the table, so grab your popcorn, bring your opinions. We got a pretty good show, but before we get started, let's find out who's here with us. Sean, how are you doing, man? Rocking that ugly-ass jersey.
Come on, man. I'm doing good. I'm happy to be here. I'm excited to be here. We have some cool, fun topics to talk about. Yeah, it's going to be fun. I'm good to see how are you? We got to see each other this weekend. That was cool. So
We did. We sure did. We went. For those of you that are not familiar with the Southern California area, Walt's Barn is currently housed in Griffith Park at the Carrollwood. I don't remember the full name of it, but it's right off the 137 freeway. We went out, hung out at 134. Appreciate you. We went down. We hung out at Walt's Barn. We got lucky to meet Mr. Bob Gurr, as well as, I'm going to pull the name up right now before I butcher it here on the screen. Yeah, the Raiders are trash. Yeah, see,
they are.
Austin gets
You know, Austin, I completely agree with you. They are trash, Dewey. They are trash, but I've been a Raider fan forever, so I'm just used to mediocrity and I accept it. And I mean, it's just even more exciting when they actually win a game because you never expect it. So it's like the biggest treat when they win one of their 4 games every year.
Yes. We also met Tanya there at Walt's Barn, the Imagineer lead behind the famous Haunted Mansion wallpaper. So we got to meet her there. We have a photo with her as well. We also got to hang out with one of our sponsors wearing the part, Kevin,
Yes.
Amanda, and Kim, which was awesome. We got to hang out with some friends of ours at Toontown Fight Club, as well as the Walt's Apartment production crew was there. So if you're not already following us on all social medias, follow us there. We'll be posting pictures as they come out, posting videos, content of all that has happened this weekend. Sean, overall thoughts though, Walt's Barn, what you think?
Buddy, so though that kind of stuff is the kind of thing that I can sit there and take forever, and it was very cool. I went in with Kim, Kevin, and Amanda, and they actually stopped. They actually stopped and let me speak to the person that she's like the I don't know, the curator, not the curator, but like the host And she gave me like the whole rundown of like the barn was in Los Feliz. Then when the people bought the house, they they tore the whole house down. They completely destroyed the whole house, but they realized they want to keep this barn because this barn is where Walt Disney took care of his trains. Where because if you know about Walt Disney, obviously you're a fan of this show. He was a huge into trains. Had basically a miniature train yard in his backyard and train tracks and tunnels and everything was kept in this barn. And then she was telling us like they brought this over piece by piece from Los Feliz, which is literally like a couple miles away from where it was. But like then she's telling us like all the stuff in here, like the workbenches were done. Walt built them himself because he was into that kind of thing as well. It's just I could have stayed in there for an hour or so. It was cool. I don't like I like those things, but I don't like that I can't take my time if that makes sense. Because I was like reading everything, taking videos and pictures and all that stuff. So it was just I absolutely enjoyed it. It was so great.
Absolutely. I enjoyed the whole thing. For me, the biggest cool takeaway was that it was yes, it's his barn, but it's exclusively about the trains, the passion of the trains, the passion of not only Walt. I mean, you also have Olivia Johnston and Ward Kimball's memorabilia in there, stuff like that.
Yeah.
So, and what I really liked about it, and I'm not going to share this on the show. And Sean, if you read the cues, I'd ask that you don't share it simply because of the sensitivity of it. But I like that people can go there. If you're catching what I'm saying, people can go there and just be them. If you have a chance to go to the Walt's Barn, I definitely recommend it. If you are a true Walt fan, a true Disney historian, it's a very solid place. But at the same time, too, as a fan, I ask that, and everyone, to each their own, you keep it as innocent, for the lack of better words, that it is. I really like how there are certain individuals there, like we showed at the beginning. Yes, you got to meet Bob Gurr, you got to meet Tanya, but there was a few other faces, and man, and I'll leave it at that. You're walking by some really cool big name people and you don't even realize it.
Yeah, no, I completely agree with you. It was I left there. I don't sound like corny or cliche, but I left there inspired. I'm like, this is why we do this. This is why we put out these shows. This is why we started this show, Mad Tea Party, a couple of years ago, being who's a better Imagineer, Bob Gurr or Tony Baxter. And for the first time ever, I'm sure everyone gets to meet Bob Gurr. I understand. I see that everyone posts pictures. I got to see Bob Gurr, blah, blah, blah. For me, it hit completely different. I was like a 4-year-old. I barely spoke to him. I was like completely like starstruck and didn't know what to say, but it was the coolest thing. And it was just so like, damn, and we were talking about, and he actually, for a little bit, we talked about my tattoos and, he's like, oh, I built that, talk about the Matterhorn. And I'm like, yeah, and it was just so cool. I completely get what you're saying, Lou. You looked everywhere. Oh, holy crap, that's that person. Oh, holy crap. We're on the train. And I'm like, oh my God, Lewis yells at me, hey, look. And I'm like, it was so much fun. We were with the best people, to do something. I had the best time hanging out with the club and hanging out with Kevin and Amanda. I mean, I was with Kevin and Amanda and Kim on Saturday as well up in Bakersfield for MouseCon with Joey, Courtney, and Kelly as well, which was a blast as well. We can talk about that after. I can kind of give you a little rundown on that, but it was very, very cool. It was just a fun weekend. I live in Central California right now, and I was telling Lou and I think a couple of people when I came over that hill down off the Grapevine into Santa Clarita, I was like, holy shit, I'm home. And I haven't lived there for 20 years, but it just felt so good to be in that area again on the freeways with like 8 lanes of traffic. It was just the best time. I had the absolute best weekend. Getting away for one too was very, very nice.
The photos of Bob and Tanya weren't already posted, I probably wouldn't have opened the show with that, simply because you got to be there to experience it. But one of the beautiful things about experiencing it is it wasn't crowded.
No,
it was very humble. But also, too, guys like Bob Gurr or even Tanya were just everyday people. and that's why I mentioned them. But there were a good amount of people there, and if you YouTube it, there are YouTubers out there that are sharing it.
Yeah.
But I like the innocenceness of it, so that's why
we had like Kevin, Amanda, and Kim had like a 5-minute conversation with Tanya. She was displaced by the fires and was just telling us about just how it was. It's like the most innocent. Just I'm like, wow, just being such a straight. It was great. It was like I can't say enough about it. And the cool thing about it, there's not many things at Disney that Disney's so expensive. Blah blah. This isn't Disney. This isn't ran by Disney. This is ran by volunteers. It's completely free as well. You just make a donation if you like. So with it being free and all the stuff they had there and the cool people there, anywhere you look, you were seeing, like Lewis said, anywhere you look, you were seeing people like, holy shit, that's so and so, and that's oh my god, it was just the best. I cut you off. I'm sorry.
absolutely. No, you're good. You're good. With that though, before we get too far into our show, we do want to thank our sponsors, Where in the Park, Getaway Today, and Sunken City Design.
100%.
A little bit of housework that we failed to mention 2 weeks ago. This show, even though some people are watching it on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, this show primarily will be YouTube only. So this will be the last week where we are sharing the show via all platforms, moving into just YouTube going forward. We kind of made the decision to go to YouTube simply to build that audience there, but also, too, we stayed here on all of our platforms to allow those that are returning guests of our show to have a chance to get the information, know we're back, know we're pushing strong every 2 weeks, 7:30 here at the Mad Tea Party celebrating your on birthday. So just a heads up, when we return in 2 weeks, and that date being, I'll tell you right now, February 3rd, we will be on YouTube and starting strictly just on YouTube. So we hope to see you guys all there. But with that, we'll kick off our show. And
can I touch on MouseCon really quick? Do you mind before you get
no, absolutely.
So the reason I went down was, me, Joey, Courtney Kelly were at the Walt's Apartment Disney Universe booth for MouseCon in Bakersfield, which was so much fun. They did some pretty cool things there. They actually asked people to bring in stuff for the firefighters, for the firefighter victims, and they had this corner of this hangar or this hall or whatever it was you would call it, just full of stuff, and it was just very cool to see. Jim Cummings was not a scheduled guest, but asked to come, and everything he made that day, he donated back down to the fire victims down in LA and stuff. It was just very cool to see. That was definitely the theme of that, was like giving, and to hear probably the coolest part of it was, I know Joey Courtney Kelly went into Jim Cummings did like an impromptu panel, just said, I'm going to do a panel, and just walked up and got on the mic in the middle of the thing and started singing. He sang, his wife asked him to sing Scar from, to do Be Prepared from Scar, because he was the backup to Jeremy Irons, if you didn't know that. And he just hits the freaking song, and it echoes through the whole building, and everyone outside of the canopy where they were doing that stuff was clapping and stuff. Just cool to see a lot of cool people. Steve puts on a really good event there. They'll be back again next year in Concord and Bakersfield. But yeah, MouseCon, if you're in the area, check it out. So, okay, now go ahead. Sorry.
Absolutely. So, with that, also happy Inauguration Day for those that are into that thing. I'm not, but hey, it's been some interesting things to watch on the interweb. Probably the second best thing on the interweb to happen this weekend. And the first best thing, so me, a handful of family members, we're walking through downtown, or we're in the depth of the enemy. And so we are at Universal Studios City Walk Saturday evening, wandering through City Walk, enjoying this day. Well, simultaneously, across the board, the room reads quiet. So we got the notification, TikTok's coming to an end.
Gone.
Next thing you know, not even within an hour later, you hear it take over the City Walk. Oh, it's gone. What? It's gone? It's gone. No, it's not gone. It's gone. We hop on there, and it's gone. And you could see it on some people's faces throughout the city walk. It looked like, when the two enlarged people off of Wally, Sean, you probably don't know this because you hate Wally, but when the two enlarged people on Wally realize that's a pool, where are we? It was like that. It was like they just got off their fucking chair and they're in the water, like, telling the robot just to piss off. It was like that in the middle of the city walk, and people were like, I can't believe it. They really did it.
They really did it. I know. It's the same thing.
Now, I have my conspiracy theories, and we're going to jump into conspiracy theories here in a minute. I have my theories. I'm like, wait a minute. It's banned for what, 6 hours? Did they just turn it off for bed?
It was about, probably about 12 total. So
yeah. But I'm curious, for those watching, did you have, not relapse, did you have withdrawals from not talking?
I'm going to tell a story why, if anyone answers. So we were at breakfast the next morning with some friends.
Yes.
And we're sitting there and we were talking about, oh man, it's gone. It's crazy. It's gone. And Bill even mentioned this when we were walking yesterday. He said, you train your mind to do things. And, TikTok's, on the front page of your phone, most people's phones, people just were clicking on it because that's what you do. When you stop and aren't doing anything, you look on your phone and you go, oh, yeah, it's he said he did like 4 times and it's still off. But I did it at breakfast. It was my phone was sitting there, and with our friends sitting there, she was panicking. She was saying that she was still going through withdrawals and like, and you got any of that TikTok, that kind of thing. Like you just need that in your life. And we're sitting.
Go ahead, Sean. I'm gonna cut you off. Sorry.
No, you're fine. So we're sitting there, and I did the same thing Bill said. I touched my phone. I'm like, oh my God, it's working. And I told her, hey, it's on. She goes, oh my God. And her reaction, and you could kind of see around the room the same kind of thing. People are looking at their phones and going, oh my God, it's back. And you could see the same thing at Bob's Big Boy. Bob's Big Boy, freaking amazing, by the way. Love that place. But
so I got to come back to Jen. Jen said, nope, we all went to a different app. Why?
But you're back on TikTok now, though, aren't you, Jen? I guarantee you are.
And then Amanda shared, nope, I was sitting across the voice of Minnie Mouse at Cracker Barrel, not caring at all about TikTok. Kevin shared, I survived the TikTok ban without any anxiety.
Good job.
Kim,
Kevin.
I'm hardly ever on TikTok, so don't care. So I lost all faith in TikTok about 4 months ago when Sam, who is not here because she's probably TikToking, decided to say, hey, Lewis, I'm gonna get you 1,000 followers. I didn't have any passwords. I didn't give her any of that. And I had one post, and my TikTok is just growing. Seconds, I'm getting followers. Minutes, I'm having hundreds. I'm like, what is going on here? At that point, I realized people are following me for no other reason. I'm out. I still post on TikTok only when I am bored, sitting on the warm porcelain throne at my house.
Yes. And
I've already browsed through Facebook and Instagram, and I'm still sitting. So I jump on there. But man, it's mind-blowing. The world, fell apart there for a little bit. Like
it was 18
scary.
hours of hell. People were didn't know what to do with their lives. It was crazy.
Yeah. Oh well. Okay. So Tyler, we all know why we got her live banned. She tried touching me, and we're gonna leave it at that.
It was my live. It was the podcast live because it was on our thing, and they banned us because there was hostility. Can't do that on TikTok.
Well, yeah, which is crazy. Which is, I mean, you can post everything. But yeah. So.
But hey, good news is that stuff was signed today that it's around for at least 90 more days. So it's definitely awesome. Says Sean, my wife has been on it all day. I asked her, what point are you doing? She told me I'm on my favorite app again. Well, of course. She shout out to your wife as well. You guys are awesome. It was nice to meet you guys yesterday for sure. But
say no to say, yeah, exactly.
Say no to SA. What's that? Sam?
I'm assuming so.
So. All right.
So, come on, Mouse. Before we kick off the show, we're going to hear a word from our first sponsor. We're going to come back with conspiracy theories.
Oh boy!
So, for those of you that are watching, I want you guys to blow up the comments your favorite Walt and or Disney conspiracy that you guys love hearing. Now, we don't know if it's true or not. That's the cool thing about conspiracy, so there is no wrong answer. But let us know your favorite Walt and or Disney conspiracy. We'll pick out a couple and talk about them here on the show.
Let's do it.
But until then, let's hear from a word from our sponsor.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Let's Get to Know Our Sponsor. Getaway Today has been helping Disney vacation dreams come true since 1990. Whether you choose to visit the happiest place on earth or travel to Orlando for the most epic adventure, they want to help. Need to know the best hotel in the area? What theme park ticket should you use? Have a last-minute change? No worries. Their travel experts are always here to help. Want to book a cruise and don't know where to start? Hey, they can help with that too. They will help you find the perfect cruise for your vacation, whether it's your first time or you're a well-seasoned cruiser. When you book your cruise with one of Getaway Today's experts, you will have a dedicated agent to help every step of the way and take care of all the details so you can just focus on the fun. Getaway Today offers peace of mind travel, allowing you to cancel or make changes up to 72 hours in advance. You will always have the most up-to-date vacation information both pre-arrival and upon welcome. Getaway Today will guarantee the best prices with no hidden fees, and every time you book with Getaway Today, they will donate a portion back to a charitable organization in your area. And so far, over $4.5 million has been donated. So just click the link in our show notes to start your Disney, Universal, or cruise vacation planning for more information and the best deal. Or you can dial 855-GETAWAY and be sure to tell them Walt's Apartment sent you. And until next time, we hope you enjoy the view from Walt's Apartment.
We appreciate Getaway Today as our sponsor. We are thankful for them. And yeah, so let's see what we got first. Off the bat, we got two.
Yeah.
The same two. Well, one is a little bit different. So yeah, Walt's frozen head is always a good one. Absolutely, that's a fun one. But Walt's head is frozen under the park.
Under Pirates, right? It's under Pirates, right? Or is it in a mansion? One of the two.
It depends. Well, it depends who you talk to. There's people that are that always share that it's frozen under the parks. That's frozen in general. Yeah. That it's just frozen in the castle. Like, I mean, I would say Walt being frozen, any portion of his body in some type of capacity, is probably the biggest conspiracy.
Right.
But at the same time, too, I don't find it unbelievable. I do find that he's buried somewhere in the park, frozen. Yeah, so hear me out. Walt was a big enthusiast of like all things technology, stuff like that. I could see him. I can't say I could see him. I never met him. But the idea of being frozen until there is a time to be better and come back.
Wait a second.
I can see it.
No, you're trying to tell me that you think in 1966 Walt Disney decided to have himself, so not just his head. They're saying his head, but you're saying he had his whole. He's frozen. They could bring him back to life when they have a cure for cancer. Is that what you're saying? Is that what you're trying to tell me right now? So he would be 120 years old now, or 125 years old almost, if this was to. Is that what you're saying? That you think that that's possible?
I'm not saying I think it's possible, because right now it's not possible. I know that, but I mean, he may not ever come back. But I do think that in 1966, I mean, if he was so intrigued about look at Epcot, what Epcot was supposed to be,
100%.
I feel like if someone approached him, said, "Well, we have this technology. We can, once prior to you dying, meaning like on your last second, we will freeze you, bring you back when the time comes."
And he's still frozen today. So if they brought Walt back there, he'd just be 65 years old still. Is that what you're saying? He's just 65 years old.
We don't know because it's never been done. I mean, think about it. Back in the days, you used to believe that you could pay to go to heaven. used to, like, there's so many different things that people just believed into. Look at people that buy jewelry off of infomercials at 2 a.m. Oh, you want to find the love of your life? Buy this ring.
Absolutely.
We
It totally
believe
works,
it, so we
too.
buy into it. I'm sure it doesn't. But I'm just saying, like, oh, geez. They did it for Rogers. Tyler, then Walt says, I can do this all day. Stop it.
Oh, Walt. Walt's not dead, according to Louis.
I'm not saying he's not dead. He's definitely dead. But I don't not believe that maybe he's frozen somewhere and they thought, fuck, we could do this one day. If there's a team that
you
can
are not
figure
the
it out-
person I ever thought that would believe shit like that. Come on.
I'm not saying that. I'm not saying I believe it, but at the same time, I'm not
That
saying
you believe that it
don't
would even
believe
be done. Do you think other people have done that?
I'm sure people. Sean, think about this conversation right now and go back to when we first thought we were going to go to space. And people were like, what? Now people make trips up to space like it's no problem. I'm just saying. Yeah,
Kevin
see?
says, pretty sure Walt's frozen head wouldn't have to worry about lung cancer. That's fair. Good point, Kevin.
I mean, if someone pitched that idea to you that, hey, you know, we might be able to. Fuck! Whose bright idea was it to start just testing on monkeys? At one point, that was a crazy idea. And now we do it. It's like the same person, and I'm going to go a little off topic here, but stay with me, okay?
Okay, go ahead.
Why do we have underwear? Why? What does underwear do? Why don't we just wear pants? Why do we need a piece of clothing to keep us from other clothing?
Zippers.
Huh?
Zippers. That's why.
Why don't we just make pants without zippers? Why are there all these unneeded steps? Like socks, right? Why don't we just make really comfortable shoes that don't need socks? Like, whose idea is like, you know what? I think there'd be a little bit more comfort if I put a cotton piece of clothing.
Why do we wear underwear? Name of the episode.
So, like, these things, take the restroom. At one point in time, it was weird.
Why do we have them?
No, I know why we have them. But it was weird and awkward that we put them in our houses. At one point, it was an outhouse. Right. So all the ideas that seem crazy, all these
because people got smart and didn't want to be cold anymore. That's
see, and guess what?
Maybe that's why we have underwear. People don't want to be cold. They don't want to have or chafing. I mean, chafing's a big thing too.
Yeah, just lose some weight. I mean, so anyway, so that's aggressive. I apologize, but anyway, think about it. Like, it's only a crazy idea because it hasn't been done. But all of a sudden, if it works, it's not a crazy idea. You wearing a football jersey right now should know that. It's a crazy idea to go for a 4th and 2. But if it works, it's not a crazy idea no more.
That's fair. Underwear, what does that have to do with Walt Disney? That's what Jennifer wants to know.
So what I'm trying to say here is Walt being frozen, or conspiracy-wise, doesn't not make sense because the fact that Walt was very intrigued. Walt created an empire from the park bench of a carousel. So what seems crazy seems crazy. Walt had a bra shop Main Street. Exactly. Wizard of Bras. It only seems crazy when you haven't seen it done. Once it's done,
really called the Wizard of Bras.
It was called Wizard of Bras.
The best fucking name ever.
So I'm just saying, I don't believe that Walt is frozen, but at the same time, too, if it was to come true that, hey, we found the ice chest of Walt, I wouldn't be surprised either. Just saying.
Dude, he'd be pissed with some other stuff if they unfroze him. He's like, what the hell did you do to Epcot?
Do not open that can of worms on this show because we will go on for hours. It's in our intro.
We got to do that then. We got to do that then. One episode, just like, everyone always says, everyone thinks they know what Walt would think about everything. Oh, Walt would roll over in his grave. How do you know? But.
Oh, look at it. According to Kevin, he said from Wikipedia about cryogenics, the first corpse to be frozen was that of James Bedford in 1967. That is a year after Walt passed away. What if Walt was the lab rat?
Maybe. Okay. Yep. He's alive somewhere.
No, he's obviously not alive.
He's going to come back for the 100th anniversary of Disneyland and say, "What the fuck?"
Hey, that might be something. But I'm just saying. So, what other conspiracy theories are out there that we want to talk about for Mr. Walt?
I don't know if this is a conspiracy theory, like a wives' tale, but I don't know who I was talking to the other day about this. But the whole thing with the point, with the two fingers, and everyone said that it's what?
Yeah, I heard
everyone says that the picture of Walt, pointing, is because he actually had a cigarette in his hand, and every picture of Walt Disney, they've had to Photoshop the cigarette out of his hand because he was such a heavy smoker. If Walt was a smoker, we do know that, but the cigarette point, exactly. But I don't know if that's real or not. So,
I mean,
it's not really a conspiracy theory. It's just kind of like I guess it could be a conspiracy theory that they took it out so they couldn't show that they didn't want you to see he was actually a smoker. But
yeah, I mean,
people smoke.
Because obviously he died. He did die from lung cancer, so we know that. But I mean, it wasn't. I mean, they made a very key thing in the Save Mr. Banks film. I don't like people to see me when I'm smoking. Mm-hmm. So, like, it is very interesting. So Tyler says he heard it was offensive to point with one finger. That's how I originally heard it.
That's what I've heard too.
It was rude to point with one finger, so you did two. But I mean, they're still pointing if you think about it. Like two is still. So, yeah,
wouldn't it be twice as bad? I mean, if you really think about it.
Yeah. Let's see. But let's see. We got any more real quick.
Lou, another conspiracy theory, which I don't know if this is true either. Do you think that they really pipe in smells and on Main Street, or do you think that's just a? I think that's a conspiracy theory. I don't think it's true, but
yeah,
you wouldn't have to. I wouldn't think, but it's.
See, we have any more good ones in the chat? All right, so we're gonna take a quick sponsor break and then come back for our next topic, which should be a good one. We're talking Disney Lorcana, so stay tuned for that.
Hey fam, what scavenger hunt are you doing?
He clicked off of it here. Hang on, let's try again. He doesn't realize he walked away. Hang on 1 second. Wow, I'm here by myself. How y'all doing? Let's hear about Where in the Park, though. I'm trying to find the ad. Here we go.
Hey fam, what scavenger hunt are you doing?
Well, we are doing Where in the Park.
Do you guys know Where in the Park? Because we do.
We do.
So how you play this is that they give you a deck of cards with an image on it, and you get to look around and see where in the park that is.
And they're fun. So if you like to find stuff, this is what you need to do.
The amazing game. We're in the park right here.
If you're a seasoned Disney park goers, as we are, it's a fun, challenging even for the hardcore Disney parks fan.
We have played the Where in the Park games that we felt like, we got
still a challenge.
Oh no, yeah, still a challenge, a fun challenge though, not an impossible challenge.
They
get really close to details, and you're like, I have never even seen that. I don't even know.
Where in the park have I seen that?
The great thing about these is that they're not in attractions and they're out in the open places. It's meant for families to play.
Besides people who've been there a lot, it's fun for people that are new to the parks as well, because you catch some of those details that you would probably miss when you're first going.
So there's images that you are finding on one side of the card, and then the other has the hint and the answer that you can reveal if you choose to.
Before it was just the hint and the answer, but now if you really want the land,
it'll tell you
they'll
where.
give you the land for an extra hint. You guys can take as long as you wish without the hint. Yeah. Without the hint, it's hard.
But that's what makes it fun.
But they do not just do Disney parks, obviously. What other parks do you guys actually cover?
Universal and all that good stuff.
East Coast, West Coast, and they're continuing to expand even more after that.
Check them out, whereinthepark.com, if you need to get some game packs. They are so much fun.
We appreciate Where in the Park.
They're awesome.
We love that.
Get you some Where in the Park today.
Hell yeah.
Use promo code Walt's APT Podcast to save 10% at whereinthepark.com.
I don't think you realized, Lewis, when you got up, you clicked the ad and then it turned right off. I'm like, oh shit, where's the ad? Where's the ad? I couldn't find it.
Oh, did I?
He's like, just walks by. I'm like, oh hey everyone, I'm still sitting here. But yeah, Louis, everyone here says that the smell of things are real. So, I guess I can't smell anything anyway. But where in the park is?
Oh wait, hold on. So Amanda posted one. I'm sorry, Amanda. What Disney is doing now? Here's a conspiracy theory. What Disney is doing now is their actual response, Epic Universe, and got a shotgun reaction.
They've known about that for 10 years, Amanda. They've been planning for this for 10 years. That's what Bob Iger 2.0 said. That they've known about this. They're not worried. I do agree that they are.
Fucking liars.
Yeah,
they ain't no jack squat. How do you know about this for 10 years and have and not have nothing prepared besides a line queue and a couple ride overlays? They didn't know about this. And then they try to pack it. I remember what you're talking about. Oh, now we got me going. So anyway, before we go to Lorcana, let's talk about this for a minute. You're telling, and then they try to lump in the Downtown Disney project. Oh, so you gave us some retail. If that's your comparison to Epic Universe, it's an epic fail. What else do they say?
Well, that shouldn't have mattered. That's West Coast. That shouldn't have mattered at all. What the answer, anything for?
No, but King Iger and Josh Diamaro want to lump in all these little things. Oh, the Haunted Mansion. We gave you guys a line queue. Stop it right now. Oh, Tiana's. Oh, great. You gave us a overlay or a redo, whatever the word is that people want to use nowadays. You gave us an attraction that is, and we were talking about this last time, that's as broken, if not more broken, than Rise of the Repairs. If that's your answer for a full-blown theme park, great job. Great job. I'm sure Walt is thawing out how pissed he is right now. That's the dumbest thing I swear. They don't have an answer to that. And not only that, a lot of their answers now were from D23. Villains Lands coming to Walt Disney World.
So, question about that. Kind of go back to Mansion for a second. I think George said on our show last week that he really likes the idea when they don't tell you what they're doing. When they don't, they just a wall goes up and you're like, oh, what are they doing there? It's not like coming whenever this year, Tiana's, whatever. Just a wall's up and you don't know what they're doing. And that's kind of what happened with the Mansion. They walled off the bride scene and no one really noticed it till this last month. And then so it doesn't always have to be like this big publicized thing. And I mean, this so far as you're getting great reviews so far from the bride as well too. But
I agree with what George said. Sometimes they don't have to announce it.
Yeah.
Lots of times things get walled up and start getting demoed, and we're like, wait, what's going on? And the same way with a movie. You hear about these things, you're like, are they filming it? What?
Yeah.
Boom, trailer, here we go. But the hard part is Disney's not even being consistent with what they're doing.
Sure.
Take the King Thanos ride in Avengers Hallway. We've saw 3 variations of that.
Mm-hmm.
It's not, I get everyone gets on about concept art. Cool. But if you don't know if you're buying a car, truck, or a van, you got some challenges. Come on now. Everyone knows you step with your foot forward. Oh, well, which foot? Doesn't matter. You're stepping forward. You should know what you're doing. Water ride, air. And that's another thing. It changed vehicles. It changed storyline.
Mm-hmm.
Come on now. Not only that, when was Avengers Hallway first pitched? I would say more than 10 years ago. So your answer to Epic Universe or, just theme parks in general is a ride that may never come? That's crazy. So, I get and I agree with George. I'd much rather not know.
Yeah.
See walls go up, see them demoing. You're like, wait, they haven't said nothing.
Yeah.
What is this? What is it going to be? Boom. Here's some concept art. But right now, we're getting concept art and the famous line, and actually I think Amanda shares it right here. The just now getting shovels in the ground. I get it. and everybody can get on my ass about it. That's okay. Moving stuff out of the way is them getting prepared. But when you are the golden child to take over King Iger's seat, everyone swears about Josh Dunn Diamaro is like, oh, he's the guy. If your shovels are in the ground.
You call him Josh Dumb Diamaro? Is that what you call him?
Yeah. Oh, well, absolutely. Absolutely. Like, because
he's like the nicest guy in the world. Why the hell would you do that?
Well, because most liars are. Let's be honest. Think about it. So I'm gonna be honest. So hear me out.
Did you just fucking say that?
Yeah, absolutely. So if you think about it, okay.
Wait, no, you can't just skip over that. Most liars are the nicest people. That's what you literally just said.
Yeah, they're full of like backhanded compliments. Oh, you're so great at your job. Oh, you're such a wonderful person. Like, nah.
I can think of like 5 people that you're totally offending right now.
Like, do we know them together or
possibly? Yeah. I'm a nice person.
Oh, hey.
I'm not a liar.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Are you a nice person though? I mean, just because we think we're nice doesn't mean we're actually nice.
Well, people tell me I'm nice. Are they not telling me the truth then?
It depends on what is nice. Let's answer that. What is nice?
And why do we wear underwear? What the hell, man? Where are we going?
I mean, well, you know what brought it up, okay?
You said it. I didn't bring anything up. You brought up underwear and people that are nice are liars.
Okay, maybe that was a little aggressive at the top, but I mean, if they're too nice, it's like the reason why no one likes Superman. He's just too nice, too perfect. Why? What happened? Where's that fracturedness? Like, I know, like, every single one of our hosts, I would consider nice, but at the same time, they're very honest. They're brutally honest, which to some people doesn't come off nice. Anyway, to talk about what Diamaro, if any political figure, whether you're for Trump, against Trump, Biden, Kamala, Mickey fucking Mouse, if any single one of them would have said, tomorrow gas will be free, and then you go to the gas station and it's not free, well, we got to get the programs in sight, and then when it's, you said tomorrow it's free. Don't say that. When you say shovels are in the ground, shovels better be in the fucking ground. And they're not.
Hey, let's take a second here and let's read Kevin's big comment here about the AI art in the shop. How they can find one thing. Wait, I gotta start over here. About the use of AI in the art shop. How they can find one thing out of all this cool stuff. Irvine says on the fan outcry, trailing off as she stood in the shop full of why can I not read? Full of artfully created oddities and references. And tarot mysticism. She stresses that the AI art was a temporary placeholder. There are many objects to come in the shop. More paintings and tapestries among them. There are that are in the process of being fireproof before the final install. They felt like it would be appropriate. That was a great article. I think it's from the LA Times article.
So, okay, so let's talk about that. Okay, this isn't the first time they've done it. This isn't the first time we've seen AR art. Let's go back to Splash Mountain. And we got the Rinky-Dink Country Bears from Home Goods. Stop it. Disney has beautiful craftsmen, artists in their pocket. And I get, the flame, you got to make it ready. Then it's not show ready. If it's not show ready, why are you opening it to the public? If your first impression is you want it to be the best you can be, then why are you opening it?
So are you from the mindset that everything in that place should be from an Imagineer and not from just Bill and Bob's Etsy shop down the street? Because there's a lot of stuff that Disney does. And Kevin put on there. This is from the LA Times article on 117. It was a really good article that actually, if you have the time, you can look up By Fires. He actually went through he read the whole article on his channel, and it's a really good article about how that Disney does buy a lot of stuff that they do a lot of different things, creative, get it from just the thrift shop down the street. This will fit cool in there, so they'll buy it. So
I agree. But buying, say, for instance, a lot of the Galaxy's Edge props,
right. Yep.
a lot of that is just bought and then repurposed. There's a difference. There's an artisan to that. If I was to go buy that jersey for you, but distressed it a little bit and then gave it to you, there's still that footwork.
Mm-hmm.
For artwork, by just going into AI and you put no work into it whatsoever,
mm-hmm.
boom, here you go. No, that's not okay. And the fact, and then not only that, you're doing it, and AI has not been perfected to where you could still see it. But the sad part is, this is not the first time. This is not the first time they've done this. There was a T-shirt in Downtown Disney a few years ago that really blew up, and it was AI art, and you saw the merry-go-round in there, and it wasn't even full horses.
Mm-hmm.
You can't tell me a Disney artist created that just, oh, they'll believe it. Bruce Vaughan, the Imagineer, and that you've seen the Imagineer story, and when he does interviews today, stop doing that shit. And this is where people are getting mad about Disney. You're charging us more and giving us less. I mean, you have amazing artists. One artist that I promote a lot on the show, you have Noah. You have an entire fucking festival going on right now of artists.
Mm-hmm.
Give them the opportunity to, create a piece that we're going to hang. Look, flame retardant. Then don't open it yet. Don't open it. Push it another week. Because guess what? If you would have waited another week and put in the right pieces, and now we have some, and again, going back to that's not true, and you can see it. Now we have those pictures that have the tarot cards, which are
mm-hmm.
in there. You already had 3 of them in there. So you just what? No, you thought you were going to get away with it, and social media right now is louder than any voice out there, and you guys got caught. That's all there is to it. They're going cheap.
Was it really that bad of a picture? I don't remember seeing it.
Sean, don't you pull that dumbass excuse.
No, I'm not pulling it. I'm asking a question.
I'm
asking a question.
Okay,
I never saw it. I don't even remember seeing it. Was it really that bad picture to create this uproar? Wasn't it Leota? Or am I thinking of something?
It was it was a picture of Constantine.
Okay.
Or Constant. It was a picture of her, but it's a picture that is you commonly see on things like TeePublic, Teespring.
Okay.
A picture that is when you type in Haunted Mansion, you automatically see. And is it that big of a deal? No, it really isn't. It is just an image. But at the same time, too, and going to what you, Sam, David, all got on me last time, is what sets Disney apart? Think about it. What is it that sets Disney apart from any other theme park?
I mean, theoretically, it's the biggest show. I mean, it's going to be the best. It's going to be the most glorious. It's going to be the most amazing. And obviously, this wasn't that. And they got caught. I agree with you. They got caught. They got caught trying to dupe or whatever. I don't believe the Irvine statement either that it was. I think that they were like, okay, this will work, and no one's going to catch it because it's way up here. There you go, gold standard. That's the word I was trying to get. The gold standard. So that's. But
and not. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
No, I'm just saying it's Disney fans. All of us expect the best all the time, and when they don't get that, this is what happens. And I'm not defending Disney. I'm not saying, well, they're Disney, they can do what they want. I know I do say that a lot, and I own that. But obviously, this is something that they thought maybe they can get away with, and Disney fans are probably some of the most passionate, smartest people that out there, and notice every detail. I love watching videos of these people doing, side by sides of something. It was this here, and then they're going to check it out like a year later. That's just passion. And if Disney doesn't show that same passion, shame on them for not doing that. So that's kind of a different thing than I usually would say, but shame on them if they're not putting out their best all the time. There you go.
And I think a part of me with this interview, nothing against Kim. I really think Kim has a lot of solid things she's done for the park, but at the same time, watching the Imagineering story, you almost have to think, did this comment come from her? Legitly from her? Was this a PR movement?
Well,
but also too, there's so much.
Go ahead.
There's so much personal investment with this attraction in her family's
that's
aura.
Yeah.
That is she saying this to protect it?
100%.
I mean,
100%. I completely believe that.
And if that is true, shame on her.
That's
Shame
her mom.
on her.
That's her mom.
Then guess what? You should have had a real artist paint a solid picture of her mom, not an AI art.
Okay.
Shame on her for protecting something that wasn't authentic.
See, Kim Irvine is talk about passion. Is very passionate. I think Haunted Mansion is her baby, and I think wasn't she like kind of head of when they did the overlay as well, the haunted the Nightmare. She was a big part of that happening, wasn't she?
Yeah, because she does the they use her for the Christmas.
They use her, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So she's been part of Imagineering, forever. She was there with her mom working in there doing stuff. It's just I completely agree with you. It's definitely some defense of her family, which I might do. I would probably do the same thing.
Yeah, but at the same time too, when they do these models, these maquettes, it's not always going to be the same with people that want to sit there and bring up all the negativity in the Disney movies during the Renaissance era. And they blame Disney for a lot of things. Like, for instance, the Ariel's castle on the cover of the VHS. No disrespect, guys, but Walt's been dead for almost 20 years prior to that movie coming out. It's not his fault. It was a way to strike. Sean is frozen like Walt right now. So I don't know
I thought you were frozen. Sorry.
So it might have been me. Maybe it wasn't me.
No, it wasn't me. Mine's saying, "Hey, you have shitty Wi-Fi right now."
So, but yeah. So Kevin just shared her dad, Richard Irvine. Come on, mouse. Was head of design and planning at Disneyland while the Haunted Mansion was made. So yeah, there's obvious, but at the same time too, you can't cop on that. And Disney AI is not working in your favor right now. It's really not. Every single time they've turned to that as a resource, it's failed them. Or there may be times where they are using it and we don't notice it, and therefore it's working for them. But when they do get caught, it's not working.
100%.
So, but man, that was a good topic. Thank you, Amanda, for bringing that up. Well, I want to touch on the 10-year thing on a later show because probably do that closer to when Epic Universe is opening because I don't think Disney was ready. And if I'm being honest, I still don't think they're ready. I really don't.
I agree and I don't agree with you. And I've watched many videos and listened to many people talk about this. And we always talk about Epic Universe, how Disney, they're going to be in trouble. They might be for a little bit. I still don't. I still think, especially if Universal doesn't change the way that they're going to make that you can go to this park, which is you can only go one day or whatever. The thing they do, the way they do it's really weird. You can only go one of your couple of days. I don't even remember how it's set up, but it's going to be cool. It looks cool. Extra Magic Hour is all over it. And they talk about it all the time, and they're highlighting their favorite lands and their favorite what's going to be coming. It looks cool. We talked last week on they're going to have problems with their animatronics as well too. It just happens. Nothing is perfect, so just be prepared for that. But I still think Disney they might see a slight dip, but then they're going to also pick up from customers as well, because if you're in Florida, Florida is a destination. You don't just go there for a couple days. You're there for a while. Maybe you don't go to all 4 Disney parks. You just go to 3 of them and then go to Epic Universe one day. But Disney's still going to get theirs. It might not be. There's going to be a bite taken out, but we don't know how much yet. So
I'm on the fence because if I'm not mistaken, this is now Universal's 3rd park in Florida.
I think
because if I'm not mistaken, Epic Universal, Islands of Adventure, and I think they have Universal Orlando. So I mean, right now they have 3. Disney has 4. So you may just be doing a Universal and then maybe one park at Disney. I mean, which yes is something, but it's still a hit. But not only that, I mean, heck, there's obviously it's not going to be affected. I know that, but how do you answer back with that? What happens and say, especially with them marketing? I mean, now Disney's starting to do it, but they're a little late. Their Universal is marketing their lands really well. It's Universal Orlando is a combination of Islands of Adventure and Universal Studios Florida. Okay, so but right now Disney is building themselves into holes. Epic Universe is building their lands the way Walt did, 70 years ago. They're themed around an organic theme. They're not, this is Zootopia, this is Cars Land. Guess what? You could only put Zootopia and car stuff in those lands to stick with the storytelling.
Right.
And then you're blocking yourself in. Universal, from what the little bit I know about that, is they're doing a bit of both, which gives them more room for expansion.
Sure.
So
I think it's going to be cool. It's going to be cool. But yeah, we're still 5 months away from that, or 4 months away from that. But it's gonna be an interesting year for theme parks. I think we're gonna see what it really does to Disney.
Oh, absolutely. And
Disney's response to it is kind of garbage. I will admit to that. But are they worried? They're never going to say they're worried. Of course they're worried. I mean, that's going to take money from them one way or the other. So,
Matt asked an interesting question. Did AI create those typo 100th anniversary? I don't think
that
so.
Was someone that was on their way out that was just pissed.
I don't even think that. I think it's the lack of education of their own culture.
Yeah, that's fair too.
I think it's young fans working for Disney assuming that, because we as fans still say Matterhorn was an opening day attraction when it wasn't.
Right.
But so close that there are some that consider it an opening day attraction. So I think it's the lack of education of the company you work for, and it's the just assuming.
It is funny you talk about that. I mean, we're obviously all of us on here know little things like that, like it was not an opening day. I love being at the park and I'm sitting there and I'm just in line or whatever, and you hear people just spouting off all this stuff, and it's also not true, but they sound cool to who they're talking to. So you just let them, oh yeah, this was here when the park opened. It was Walt Disney's favorite. You're just like, no, it wasn't. But in your head, you're like, no, it wasn't. And you don't want to correct them because that's rude. But it's funny to, like you said, it's just the different mindset of people. So,
well, like the gold stake behind Sleeping Beauty's castle. How everyone says that's the center of Disneyland.
At one time, it was though. At one time, it was. But now,
no, from my understanding, from my understanding, that was always just used for mapping. It was never at any given point the center of Disneyland.
I was told. I thought I might have heard differently. You talk about the gold right there, right by the castle.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah. I thought at one point it was the actual center, but it probably was that until they added one thing, and then it wasn't anymore. Obviously, but
yeah, that was just looking at it. You got, heck, adding Galaxy's Edge, and that stake hasn't moved.
Right. Well, the stake's not
has moved. Yeah. No, yeah, because if it does, that's going to shift it over by the bathrooms.
Right. Well, no.
So, but if I'm not mistaken, I forgot where I was reading it. They use that for sky mapping. Like that is what, but I could be wrong on that too. That's another one of those.
I was told, I don't know where I heard that, but I think it when the park originally opened, that would have been the center of the park. But it kind of makes sense if you really think about how maybe it doesn't make sense because there wasn't that much back there when the park first, but there wasn't that much in the park when it first opened. So it's really hard to say if it was or not. So
yeah. Let's see.
I said it for a little bit that it was center line of Main Street. I think it probably is the center line of Main Street where it is. It's probably would go right down the middle of Main Street. It could be for surveying as well. That's what you're saying, Lou. The surveying. Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree with Tyler. It could have been I agree. If where you're standing in the middle of that, because it's like right in the dead in the entry area of the castle, right?
Yeah, as soon as you walk out the tunnel and you just exit the same spot where Walt was, it sits right there.
Yeah, yeah, that could be the center. I mean, I think one time it might have been.
I
But
mean,
who knows?
it could be a spike
conspiracy
simply
theory.
it could be a spike just to simply reenact that photo.
Yep.
Stand where he stood.
Yeah.
So,
theory.
no. Well,
What do you think about Lorcana?
well, so
Maybe you
was
wanna
it hit
skip
our
Lorcana?
ad? Yeah, no, I don't want to skip it because So, question to all of our viewers.
We have a whole nother topic
followers,
after
and-
this that we have to do because I actually worked on it.
We do. Yeah. So let's talk about this. So Lorcana, a good friend of the show, just as Danny, was at a Lorcana championship event just a couple weeks ago. Joey and Alex from Disney Universe, Extra Magic Hour, Knights of the Rogue Republic, and the other 500 podcasts Joey does, they are all fans of Lorcana.
Yeah.
My 6-year-old is a fan of Lorcana.
Oh, Alex is on. There's Alex.
Alex is a fan. I'm a fan of Lorcana, not because of the card game. I just like that they didn't just copy and paste stills from the movie. They had artists, hopefully artists, take that with what it's worth now. Go in and recreate the scenes and stuff like that. I love the artwork of it. But my question is, how long does Lorcana actually stay relevant? Not to shit on it, not to talk it up. But I ask because it's like every 5 to 10 years, Disney gets a new itch. We all remember when the Xbox 360 Disney Infinity took over the D23 showroom floor. If you went to D23, you got some of those figures, and they made figures for everything. And then just as quick as it came, was as quick as it was gone. Disneyland, the Connect version, super excited.
Yeah.
It was up, and then it was down. There's even the more recent one, the Fortnite, Epic Games. They were supposed to collaborate with Disney, and that has been a slow building process. Vinylmation. I feel like the only real big fad thing, I don't want to call it a fad, because that's not what it is, but for lack of better words, has been pin trading. That's the only thing that has really stood the test of time. But everything else that Disney threw out there, from Vinylmation to Infinity, all that, it blew up and then it just disappeared. So I'm curious, for those that are Lorcana fans, does it stick? And if so, for how long? Yeah, Amanda, you stole one of the comments that I was thinking. Pokemon cards and baseball cards are still around. Lorcana can easily be just as relevant in the New Year's. Absolutely. I don't disagree. I think it will be around, but how long does it stay relevant? Because, I mean, speaking of Pokemon, yeah, Pokemon cards were strong, but that Pokemon Go game came and it went. So I think the cards will be around for a while, but does it stay on the hype that it is today?
Well, nothing continues to keep the hype that it has when it first started. That's just a fact. But I think so far, I mean, I know nothing about it. I never ever. I don't know why none of my 4 kids were ever into the Pokemon cards or even collecting. But it's funny that you mentioned that. My son Zach collects pins and does pin trading. So that's funny that you mentioned that. But Lorcana, I mean, I don't know how it works, and I know that when Danny was on that night, Danny and Sam and Joey were on with me for like a half hour after the show trying to explain it to me. I'm like, I just don't get it. I don't get it. I don't understand why if you turn it this way, it does this, and if it does like this, and you have the powers like this, if it's purple, it's this. I'm like, what the fuck is happening here? Because it sounds like a terrible game for someone myself, which is an overthinker, which I feel like I would just like lose my mind trying to play it. I do agree with Amanda. Lorcana will be around for years to come because there's so much you can do with it. There's so many characters you can do with it. I don't know. What does everyone else think? I didn't mean to step in there.
No, and again, there's no pros or cons to this. This isn't me trying to stir the pot about anything. I enjoy collecting the cards and getting them.
They're really cool looking.
They absolutely are. And Pokemon cards are still very much collectible, but Pokemon cards have been reborn by YouTubers, TikTokers, all that, wanting this. So I mean, I'm not trying to knock it at all. I think the cards are really cool, but I've seen the increase of them in the last year or so, and I'm just curious, how long does it survive? Does it stay on top? But while we're talking about this, Jen mentioned even pin trading isn't as good as it be. Jen, I don't know how it is on the East Coast, but the West Coast, Disney pin trading is still very much alive.
I will tell you, at MouseCon, dude, there was probably 10 tables of just pins. And pins are like $50 a pin. I'm like, for a freaking pin? But
out here on the West Coast, pin trading is still
a big thing.
Very much alive. And it resurfaces every single time, yearly. And that's what I'm curious about Lorcana. Does Lorcana have its moments when it's everything dies down, but then it rehypes? So just curious, because I'm really not, because I'm again, like we shared 2 weeks ago with this show, I definitely don't want to just take jabs at Disney, but I want to be able to like bring up topics that get the gears turning and aren't just the new news, the old news, the good, the bad, just really. And Alex, our Lorcana specialist, shares it has a good chance because of how big their catalog is and how many properties have been yet to be used. Ravensburger is doing a great job on it, and Disney seems to be letting them do their thing. It's going to need an online version to come in and let people practice and play without having to buy all the cards first and keep the community growing. Alex also shared they announced Pixar is coming to the game in 2026. Amanda said Lorcana is this generation's Pokemon cards. I mean, shoot, even Magic the Gathering is still alive. So Lorcana isn't going nowhere. I'm here for it. I'm here for it.
I don't think it's going anywhere for a while, for sure.
Yeah. I'm also curious too, like Pokemon, Magic, they have, I mean, a lot of, what's the word I'm looking for? We've seen Pokemon cards at 99 cents, so we've seen Pokemon cards bounce back out to Target. But with Disney, I feel like, for instance, the Infinity game, that could have gone somewhere.
Yeah.
That Infinity game where you could play as Jack Sparrow and Monsters U, like that had so much potential, but it didn't take off the way they wanted it to and didn't let it marinate. Guess what? Disney Infinity, whether we like it or not, was like the early days of Fortnite. You could use any character you want, any land you want, to play with your friends whenever you want it. It wasn't cross-platform, but it was Disney's version of Fortnite before Fortnite was Fortnite. So, like, I just hope Lorcana, even though it sounds like, what's it called? Ravensburger is the one doing it. I just hope Disney allows it to marinate, because it does seem like something fans are getting behind.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, the event looked pretty cool when Danny was showing pictures and stuff of it. I met a lot of people there, and Danny said he got to play in it. He actually got to. He wasn't sure he was going to get. He got in. He said he didn't last long, but he said it was fun. It was a fun experience, you know.
Oh, okay, Kevin. Kevin said the problem is they try to run Disney Infinity instead of outsourcing like they have with Lorcana. Maybe that's the trick. Maybe that's it. Because even the Disney pins are just licensed but manufactured by so many different companies. Okay. Awesome. Well,
you want to hit your last break?
I was just going to do that. We have one more sponsor to hear from and a special little announcement after from them. And then we have a fun little Mad Tea Party activity we're going to throw out there. So here's our last ad for the evening, and we'll be right back.
Sunken City Designs brings you art. Do you like art? What about Disney characters like Mickey Mouse and the Oyster Thief? You know, that's actually from Alice in Wonderland, the best princess movie ever made. Also, we have some dwarfs that have their heads ripped off sometimes. Why? I don't know. It's because it's Sunken City Design. So go there, sunkencitydesign.com. Get yourself some great merchandise. You got posters and, I believe, clothes. Who knows? I got a cup from there, and it's fantastic. Do you like cups? Do you ever use those? I do. Go for it. Oh yeah, sweatshirts. Can't forget about those. If you're ever cold, get yourself a sweatshirt from sunkencitydesign.com. Also, WALL-E. You know, that's the best movie ever made. Second only to Alice in Wonderland. All right, if you also like Walt's Apartment, they have merch for that too. Where? sunkencitydesign.com. Hopefully you've already loaded up that site and you're looking at it and you have some items in your cart. Go ahead and check out as soon as you can because the show's about to come back on. All right, everybody, we appreciate you.
So we do have a couple announcements from Sunken City Design, but I do want to address a comment from Amanda. So when is the Sunken City Design coloring book coming out? Right now, we are currently still waiting for our Amazon ID number to be approved and come out with that. So we are waiting on that. It was submitted some time ago. I should be following up on that and get on that. It is in the work, though. The coloring book is in the work. But we also have, if you are following Sunken City Design on Instagram, we have a poll that just came out right before we went live trying to talk about what our next series is that we are doing. So we have a new line coming out called Sewer Buddies. If you're not following us on Instagram, we have Sewer Buddies, which is inspired by the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. That drops February 1st. We have t-shirts, sweatshirts, and skateboards dropping. But right now, you can go on our Instagram and you could vote either for the Animaniacs and Pinky and the Brain, Rugrats, Street Sharks, or Sesame Street. So this year, right now, we are working on designs and different themes to do individual drops throughout the year. So you're following us on Instagram at Sunken City Designs. Go ahead and drop your vote there. Also, be on the lookout if you are in the Walt's Apartment Discord for a discount code coming out the night before February 1st for a link and discount to the Sewer Buddies merch. So be on the lookout for that. So Jen said, I had a question. She said, Lewis, you need to create a character and name him Art. I do have a character. His name is not Art. His name is Tom. But I wouldn't be a bad idea. He could be wearing a cup. He could be carrying a cup, wearing a t-shirt, and a ball cap.
I think the answer to your poll, my vote is Sesame Street. I think that would be really cool. You could do what you could do with like Oscar the Grouch or some of those characters that would be pretty damn cool, I think.
Yeah, and the whole and not to go too far off topic, real quick, the whole idea of getting a head start of it is to make sure that there are different designs created and imagined for the merch itself. So a little behind the scenes of what Sewer Buddies was. Sewer Buddies was just a late night drawing. Drew Bebop, Rocksteady, had a good time. Drew Shredder, Drew Splinter, went to work all day, drew the turtles, and I was like, oh, dude, I'm going to do something with this. It was all just portraits. So therefore, it was really hard to stretch the imagination for merch. So trying to get a head start to figure out what we can do. Me, I am in favor of Sesame Street and Street Sharks. Those are the two that I'm in favor of. But at the same time, too, Rugrats and Animaniacs, I've done pieces before. So it would be fun to reapproach those guys. So, yeah.
So I have a question for you.
Yeah, go ahead.
I have a question for you, which is completely off topic. So I've asked you before how you come up with your ideas for something.
Mm-hmm.
So when you draw something, when you draw it, it looks a lot like the original. Do you use that as a reference? You don't trace, right? Do you physically draw what you draw, or is it completely like from your hand? And if you don't want to get into that, so
no,
I mean,
absolutely. I'll take a quick second. So right now, actually, I have it right here. So this is my sketchbook that I have, and I will show you right here. A few pages in is where the turtles live. the turtles. So there is Mikey himself. So that is the hand-drawn version of it.
From your hand.
And then each from my hand. Yep.
Okay.
Now, I do look at references when I'm drawing. And then the way I do it is I will look at it. It's the same way, for instance, here's Slimer from Ghostbusters.
Mm-hmm.
So I draw it, but I look at references and then I draw it how I see it to a way. So the logo, our Walt's apartment logo, I see the window and I rough it out the way I draw. And then when I vector it, excuse me, when I vector it, which means put it in the computer, at that point, then I trace it. But I trace my own drawing that I originally drew.
I've always wondered that, and I never knew how to ask that question. So it totally makes so. So you're freehand, you freehand everything, and then you just trace it after the fact.
Every single one of my drawings starts off with the pencil meets paper. A, just to say that I did draw it, but two, there's just something about the mistakes, the erasing, the feeling that pencil hit that paper. And I know there are people out there, oh, you can get covers for your notepad. Nope, it's not the same. It's not the same at all.
Huh,
and
that's all right.
Yeah, I just finished. I drew the Mad Hatter and the March Hare. I did those on gray tone paper, and it was really fun. There you go. Kevin just summed up my art better than I could. Said they're Sunken City design versions, not on model, but distinctly a reiteration of the original in your style. Yep.
That's absolutely good shit.
Yeah. So, and we got merch on our website right now. A lot of it's going to be coming down when Sewer Buddies goes on. We do have a few Walt's Apartment shirts on there right now. We do have some Walt's Apartment shirts coming out with some characters that I did that are Disney based that have already ran through the circuit on my end. So therefore, reimagining them for some Walt's Apartment merch. Those will probably be ready in the next coming weeks as well. So, absolutely. Get you some today.
Get you some. Let's do it.
It's what Amanda just said.
Can't wait. Let's do this fun activity because I'm excited.
All right. So to give everyone an understanding of what we are doing, well, what we're going to be doing is recreating our Disney Council. So our Disney Council being our Disney CEO, our Disney CFO, our lead Imagineer, our Marvel president and creative leader, and our Star Wars president and creative leader. But you can only use Disney characters under the Disney umbrella. So any Disney character that Disney owns can take those place. So we are creating our board of advisors, but only Disney characters, and we got to explain why we chose them.
Fair enough.
So, Sean.
Yes, sir.
So for those of you that are playing along with us, let us know in the comments, who is your Disney CEO? Who is your Disney CFO? Who's your Disney lead Imagineer? Who's your Marvel president and your Star Wars president?
You want them all?
And let us know what. We'll go back and forth where the comments are going. So let's start with your CEO. Who's your CEO?
Tony Stark.
Tony Stark. Why?
He's a badass.
Not a bad one. Not a bad one.
He's a badass. I mean, he's a bit business mind, smart. I actually have Woody / Tony Stark because I wasn't sure of either way, but Tony Stark, just because he's a good leader. I feel Pepper Potts. That's a good answer for the CFO. But yeah, I got Tony Stark.
Okay.
He's a good leader. People listen to him. He's fun. I think he'd be a good fit for the old Walt Disney Company.
Man.
And thought out Walt would approve.
Okay. All right.
How about you? Who's your CEO?
Me, it's this one I had to put some thought into because I didn't want to just come off like goofball Lou and be like, oh, I'm going to put these guys because those are my nope. So my Disney CEO is the man. She's not a man at all. She's a she. Mary Poppins. I forgot. I didn't know where I was going to go with this.
Mary Poppins.
Mary Poppins. Yes.
Okay.
Because she can get you to work while singing a song, and you don't even know you're working. I feel like that's a good sign of a great leader and a great manager. So therefore, I'm going Mary Poppins because she's going to get you to work and have fun doing it.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Okay. I like it. We got Kevin says Mickey Mouse for the CEO. Mickey Mouse is who I wrote down originally, but Mickey Mouse makes sense as well. Tyler also says Mickey Mouse will have the company in mind.
All right. And then Kevin also shared Pepper Potts as the CFO.
That's a good one.
Tom Morrow is in charge of Imagineering.
That's
Tyler,
fair.
Mickey Mouse as your CFO or CEO.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Who is your CFO?
I mean, there's only one character that comes to mind when you think about money and who's going to manage the money and handle the money the best. And can you guess who I'm thinking?
Does he got a bill?
He does. Mr. Scrooge McDuck, baby. Let's go. It's the CFO for 100%. Why? He's good with money. He's good with money. He likes money.
It's definitely not a bad one. And honestly, it's not a bad one because, well, that was mine. Scrooge McDuck. Yep. Money. I mean, hey, the way Disney's going.
Oh, you have to be money hungry.
The way he's going, the way Disney's going right now, I'm there.
Oh man, here we go. Cue the music. That's why.
All right. So here's the fun one.
Okay.
Who is your lead Imagineer?
Peter Pan.
What?
The biggest imagination of all. Peter Pan.
Oh my gosh! What?
Yeah.
Sean, please.
All it takes is faith and dust. Faith and trust, and yes, a little pixie dust. Yeah.
No.
He'd be so happy and inspiring.
No, Sean.
Peter Pan.
That's the lamest.
It's not.
Oh my god.
Who would you have?
Bing Bong, dude. Straight up, Bing Bong.
Bing Bong?
Dude, the dude's got an imagination above all else.
And
I'm
Peter
going
Pan
Bing
doesn't.
Bong. Yeah. Peter Pan is.
Tease what I did there.
Yeah. That's because Sean's taking too much dust.
Oh, man.
He's wearing a Raiders jersey on a Disney podcast in the middle of Northern California.
That's how I fucking roll. Let's go.
All right. Oh, so Tyler says Andy from Toy Story. Storyteller through and through. Okay.
Oh, if you're going to say that, you say Sid. Sid has more imagination than Andy. All that shit.
All right, Kevin.
Sid's crazy, man.
Kevin said I would give Marvel to Deadpool. He seems to see the bigger picture of all the properties.
I will say, Kevin,
a cop out.
Kevin, that is my answer for Marvel was Deadpool. So, cop out. How's Pan a cop out? It's the most logical choice.
No, Bing Bong, dude.
Bing Bong.
The dude literally lives in your imagination.
Okay. All right.
He is the embodiment of what imagination is. I'm going Bing Bong.
Okay.
Well,
not a cop out, Tyler.
If there was ever a time to use AI art, I would love to see these characters just put into like a boardroom scene. Yeah, imagine that. You make Bing Bong cry, you get free candy at the staff meeting. Fuck Figment.
Oh, shit.
And I'm only saying that because she's not here. But
that would have been her answer. Cool. That would have been her answer for everything.
Oh, yeah. Yep. Whoa. Amanda. Hold on. Hey, You know why people forgot about Hector? Because no one told them. And if you don't tell people about your imagination, you don't know it. That's why. R.I.P. to Hector. Justice for Hector. Dang, that was deep, Amanda.
Damn,
Okay.
Amanda just hitting
All right.
hitting us right there.
So you said your Marvel president was Deadpool?
Absolutely. Why not?
That's a weak ass answer. That's a common answer.
My Star Wars one's probably even weaker. So
You're so basic.
yeah.
Hey.
Yeah.
Me? Going Rocket.
Rocket Raccoon
Rocket.
to run Marvel.
Yep. They'll take trash and make it into a weapon. Take things that are broken and make it work. I'm going Rocket.
Okay.
Yep.
I don't like it.
So here we go. So my four already. We got Mary Poppins as CEO, Scrooge McDuck as my CFO, Bing Bong as my lead Imagineer, and Rocket as my Marvel president. Sean, who are your first four?
I have Tony Stark as my CEO. I have Scrooge McDuck as my CFO. Peter Pan as my lead Imagineer because he has the most imagination of anyone. And then president and creative leader of Marvel would be Wade Wilson, Mr. Deadpool himself.
Wait, how does he have the lead imagination? Wade's got to tell those little punk ass stories.
Yeah, he's just so happy and he's so inspiring. And Peter Pan. I'm sticking with it. I'm like, you can't change my mind. Peter Pan. According to Tyler, it's a cop out, but it's not.
I agree. All right. Star Wars president.
Obi-Wan Kenobi.
I gotta go.
Okay. Well, hit the music then. Hit the music.
Cute. No. Where's our disclaimer that we have now? Where's that at?
I don't know. It's halfway down the thing. What's wrong? Are you saying that offends you that I picked freaking Obi-Wan?
No, I just didn't have I didn't have nothing else to click. That's why.
Okay.
No, Obi-Wan's not a bad idea.
Thank you. I'm glad you approved.
I mean, I'm just glad you didn't fucking say Baby Yoda. That would have been.
I had C-3PO on here as well. I have notes for all of these. Because C-3PO is smart. Would have made sense too.
All right.
What about you? Darth Vader? Is that who you picked?
No.
Jabba?
I hate you for that one. That was good though. That was good. No. For my Star Wars one. Ready? Take a little drum roll. Because you didn't see him. No, this one. Yoda. All day.
Yoda? But Baby Yoda wouldn't be okay.
Yeah, no, Baby Yoda. Come on, man.
I don't know what a midichlorian is. I could never explain a midichlorian.
I don't know the full technological Star Wars term for it, but it's in your blood. It's like almost, I don't know how to explain it really that well. I'm not that, but it's like a count in your blood to see how likely strong you are with.
They're off the scale, exactly, Amanda. According to the Weird Al song, it's midichlorians are off the scale. It's a great song, by the way.
Haven't said we have enough backward storytelling in Star Wars these days. Oh, that's gold. Oh, my president is fucking Yoda. Oh, that was a good one, Kevin.
There you go.
That was. Oh, we don't know.
You don't know what?
He said, I want the explanation from Qui-Gon.
Oh, gotcha.
Again.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah. So that's, yeah. Did anyone give us Star Wars?
Yeah, no one mentioned Star Wars.
Yep. Kind of weird. Weird.
I can't wait to see that movie.
You only have 2 more months, dude. And then it's all gonna be done for. We've been talking about that fucking show since I started this damn podcast. We've been talking about that damn movie. It's about fucking time it's coming for real.
I'm down to see it. I mean, the last trailer, I don't think it's gonna be great, but the last trailer, I think it's gonna be mildly more enjoyable than I thought. But I think I'm sitting at a nice solid 3 already.
I'm at a 3. I haven't even seen it yet. I'm just going with. You're gonna pre-select your rating. You're gonna pre-rate.
Oh no, I didn't see Qui-Gon's ghost. Oh wait, nope, it did right here. I got you right here, Kevin.
Oh.
Qui-Gon's Force Ghost in charge of Star Wars. Okay.
Oh, sorry, Kevin. We don't have Sam here to click on all the comments for us.
But yeah, no. Before we close out, I'm definitely thinking about going to see Snow White.
We have to go see. We have to do it for show prep. You understand? We've all talked about this thing so much. We all have to go watch this and then talk about it. That will be the show that gets us kicked off all the freaking, gets us shadow banned on everything for talking shit because people have made such judgments on that movie before it's even came out. That's just absolutely blows my mind. But I think we're all going to walk out going, like, looking. I think we all should figure out a way to go together. I think we just figure out a way to meet, like in LA, and as many people that can go, we just go and we watch it. And that probably can't happen.
I don't think it's that bad of a movie. And like now that I've like watched the trailer,
you're sitting at a 3. You're sitting at a 3, so you don't think it's that bad.
I think it's gonna be decent. I really do. I don't think it's gonna be that bad.
He's gonna hit the music soon. Here it comes.